Hey, what's up guys? Coach Scott and Coach Joe for our weekly video. We're going to be talking about the Open, what happened in 16.1, and then our guest, and we're going to put on you also, is what's going to be for 16.2 coming on Thursday. Yep. Joe, let's talk about our 16.1 experience, learning experience. Give it to us.
Yep, so we had the walking lunges, the bar facing burpees, and the chest to bar pull-ups, which first and foremost, I'm really happy to just have those out of the way.
Yep.
Right? Because they could have been way worse than they were.
Totally.
They were pretty small numbers in the 8 reps that we had to tack them each time. Although I will say that those burpees were definitely the hardest part of that workout for myself.
Yep.
What I was curious to find out was, or what I didn't realize at first when they announced it, that it was going to be such an endurance event, if you will. Like, you had to really keep moving for a long time without stopping. I had assumed that those overhead walking lunges were going to shut some people down, but it wasn't the case at all. In fact, it was probably the opposite.
Yeah, I would also say like it was recovery. Recovery, totally. If you guys did that, you guys know what we're talking about. I thought my shoulders would get exhausted. I mean, they did. Mine got a little bit tired like towards the last 2 minutes of the workout, but it wasn't overhead. It was those damn burpees. Yep. Right? I went out of the gate too fast with the burpees, had my judge tell me to slow down or the people around me to slow down. But those are the things. I think the burpees and the pull-ups spiked my heart rate. The walking lunges, you knew you weren't going to stop, right? So they helped you kind of get the breathing under control. Yep. Yeah, total mind blow that I didn't realize it was going to be an endurance thing. Or how fast you can move, you know, that was going to be the thing. How fast could you move? Yep,
absolutely. I mean, I could have seen these, or I would have predicted that obviously the very top athletes would not have to put the barbell down at all. But it turned out that nobody really had to put the barbell down. No. And it was just, you know, what's your capacity for continuing to move? And really, what's your capacity for doing the burpees and not having the burpees shut you down and spike your heart rate where you couldn't, you know, continue moving on the other stuff. No, totally. I also want to put in like how much kind of like a mind fight for me personally it was. It wasn't like, hey, my legs are getting tired. They get a little bit tired, but you know, but it wasn't like, hey, I can't do this. Right. I knew I could pick the bar up. I knew I could walk with it. I knew I could get up on the pull-up bar. I knew I could do my burpees. But it was like, how much do I want to push myself, and how much do I want to give? And that was the trick for me, is just grinding away mentally. So it's probably for you guys too. You? Well, yeah, the hard thing that I struggled with that though is that you're fighting, but then you look and you have 8 minutes left on the clock and you're like, wow, I'm digging deep already. Yeah. But how am I going to continue to keep this capacity up for the next 8 minutes? Exactly. You know? Exactly. And that's where I went wrong on my first attempt at it, is I got to that point too early, whereas I had to dig deep in order to continue moving, but I had to move slowly because I went to that place a little too early. Totally.
Yeah, I mean, I think you averaged what, around the 2 minutes averaging each round. Some of you guys, I know you guys probably had some fast rounds and then some really slow rounds. I know that was me. So, nice trick. Way to hold that. All right, 60.2. What do we got ahead of us?
Well, no burpees, no chest to bars. And that's a great thing. Like we mentioned earlier, we'll see what happens. I mean, I think that it's going to be a workout that is somewhere in the 13 to 5 minute range. That's my prediction, because I don't think we're going to have another long one. Who knows what Dave will throw out there. But that's my initial thought. Yeah. I think I'm predicting 8 minutes or less. I saw on Instagram, he had a Grapes of Wrath post on Instagram. I guess it's in the airport that he saw this book. And so I'm thinking classic. I never read it, by the way, but but it's a classic workout. So there's a lot of them out there. You guys look it up. So there are some of those that are at the 8 less minutes. I've heard people talking about Fran too. That would be kind of cool, right? Yeah, it would just be super short.
Super short, yeah.
So people that are moving really, really fast, it's going to end up being a 2 minute workout for you. So.
Which I think would be cool, because the people that were like killing it with the whole endurance thing, moving for 20 minutes, how fast can you move in that like sub 5 minutes, sub 3 minute workout? All right, so what I want to see here, okay, so we have a classic, we don't know the movements. We know that there are no lunges, burpees, and pull-ups, or chest to bar pull-ups. I think there's still a possibility, not this week, that we'll still have pull-ups up.
Maybe. I mean, there's never been a double movement, has there?
No,
not since I've been doing it.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
But it could happen, right?
Yeah, anything can happen now. All right, so you get the choice of whatever you want, right? Max lift. We're gonna go on for the next 4 weeks. Mm-hmm. What do you want to see?
I think it'd be really cool to see like a front squat or even a back squat from the floor.
Okay.
That'd be something really interesting. Yep. Maybe not for 1 rep, obviously, but for something that was like a heavy 5 or something like that was in the middle of the workout. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it'll be cool to if we see something that's tagged on like last year, like the heavy clean and jerk with just 1 rep. But I would like to see some heavy, interesting thing in the middle of the workout.
That would be sick. I think heavy deadlift. I would love to see a heavy deadlift. And I was thinking about like 2 seconds ago. King Kong, a version of King Kong would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be fun.
So, I don't know if that would happen, but that would be super cool. Really heavy deadlift with some heavy cleans, with some muscle-ups, handstand push-ups.
Yeah, I mean, but interesting thing that you brought up there. Handstand push-ups, we didn't see those at all in the judges' course.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that's weird. Kettlebell?
Yeah, no kettlebell.
No kettlebell in the judges' course, which, I don't know. I think you guys, CrossFit headquarters, did a great job on the judges' course.
Yeah, it was the best year so far.
Yeah, super fun. I'm having Teal do it, one of our interns. I'm having her do it just to do it. Just I think it's quality. Yeah, so what does that mean? Because there was no pistols in the Open last year too.
Yeah, and there was pistols on the judges' course last year.
Totally.
So, it'll be cool to see something like a pistol. That'd be fun. I think we'll see a box jump, which we didn't see last year. So we'll see what ends up coming up. I'm just really surprised about that lack of handstand push-ups because that was such an interesting workout last year.
No, totally. Yeah, new standard also, right? So, all right, we're going to put this on you guys. Turn it on you. What do you guys think 16.2 is going to be? I'd love to see some comments. Joe would love to see some comments. Below, we always have a week pass. Hey, we would love to see if you're coming into town, if you are at a box in Seattle and you just want to do the Open, like mentally it would be better for you to do it in a box. We'd love to have you. Friday Night Lights, 5 to 7, every Friday for the Open. We'd love to see you. Thanks for joining us. See you guys next week.